Hey everyone, I just wanted to introduce this next video. This is Alicia Louise Lillington. I'm coming to you from October 2025, but I'm going to insert here a video that I recorded right when I got diagnosed in early April 2025. I didn't know what was to come, but I talked through some of the symptoms I had. You can see that I'm coughing, you can see that I was losing my voice, you can see I'm a lot skinnier, but these were all symptoms that I was quite sick. And I am in remission now, which is really exciting. I wish I could tell myself then it's all going to be okay. I've been through a lot about like losing my hair, and that's been hard for me. You can see what my hair was like at the time. But I just try to remember that the hair going is the cancer leaving as well. And hair's not the most important thing. I'm on a bit of a journey with that, and just trying to find my new identity without my hair. And yeah, so please watch through this. I've posted videos in the meantime, but this was really at the start of the journey. I also had a lot of challenges with work, and not challenges, like I really loved my job, but it's just when I called up to let them know I had cancer, they told me my contract would be ending. But while I was going through chemo and all, I took some time off, but I also applied for jobs, and I now have a great job that is like my dream job, and I'm in a dream team. So I wish I could go back and tell myself, don't worry too much about all that. It's all meant to be and you'll be okay. I was still breastfeeding then, which is like a bit sad to remember because I really loved breastfeeding, and I had to stop suddenly as I started chemo suddenly. But yeah, now it's a rainy day in October. I'm much better, but I'm on a recovery journey. Yeah, hope you enjoy this little video. Please like, comment, subscribe below. I'd really appreciate that. And thank you again, everyone, for your support. Here you go.
Hello everyone. So I have been diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. I'm feeling strong, and like I can get through this, but then also I want to be realistic about how things will go, and I don't want to be too optimistic that I'm like unrealistic. I don't think any of that made sense. Yesterday I had my appointment with the hematologist. I also posted about what was going on Instagram, which I like debated about because I was like, is that like, I don't know, silly? But everyone like messaged me, and I got a lot of strength from having those messages. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone who reached out and just, it made me feel like I have this like superpower and that I can really get through this. The next steps are I have to get blood tests today. I have to get a PET scan once they can book that one in. And then I'm going to get a lung function test. I'm off work until I start my first round of chemo. My first round of chemo could be as early as next week, which would be, although it's going to be hard, I want to get this thing addressed. The doctor thinks I've got stage 2 Hodgkin lymphoma, which is one of the earlier stages. I do just worry though, because I've had like pain in my teeth and my jaw and like headaches up here too. And we haven't like scanned like this as much. Definitely scanned here, and there's like a big lump here. Supraclavicular. I'm not good at pronouncing everything. Supraclavicular, is that how you say it? There was a big lump there. It kind of freaks me out that it's like in my body, and like when I'm breastfeeding and stuff and baby like grabs onto things, like it just like, I feel like she's grabbing the lumps, and it just creeps me out that it's like something like this is in my body. But overall I'm feeling good. I've gone through a range of emotions, and obviously it's not, it's obviously not good to have this, but in terms of all the types of cancer you could have and the stage and the level of support, I'm happy with that. I'm happy, yeah, as much as I could be. And I think like, I've chatted to friends who've had cancer or friends who are nurses, and they said like people with that positive attitude just like get through it that much more easily. So I can control that. I learned that through doing birthing course and through giving birth naturally. Like, you can control your attitude and you do have a say in your treatment, and you've really got to advocate for yourself though, because I've been I knew something was wrong since November. I was feeling sick and fatigued, and I knew it was something more than just a cold, but I kept like gaslighting myself, or just kept thinking, oh, it'll go away, I'll have antibiotics, or I'll have nasal sprays or anything like that. So that wasn't the case, and I think you have to trust your intuition. Definitely. Sorry, I've got all kinds of coughs and hoarse throat and hiccups and whatnot. It is a symptom of Hodgkin lymphoma. Just reading this little booklet at the moment from the Cancer Council. Obviously for me as well, like having this cough that got worse and being a public speaker, someone who loves talking and singing, being out of breath, they were some of the main signs for me that something was wrong. But I did have sort of like earaches in this ear, and got tested a few times for like middle ear infections and things like that. And I've had headaches like you'd hear. And then this side of my throat has been really, really sore. I lost about 10 kilos without doing too much effort. Lost my appetite. What else? They were the main things. Started getting night sweats too. And just fatigue, just feeling really tired. I still worked full time. I still have a 13-month-old, and it's been over the last 5 months, but when I had her the first 6 months, I still felt energetic, but and like, getting up at night didn't really bother me, even though I used to, like, before I had a baby, if I, like, didn't have a good sleep at night, I would, like, call in sick to work because it was just, I needed my sleep. But I found, like, having a baby gave me this inner strength where I had so much, like, energy and everything. I definitely feel like I'm that 200% person that, and before I was pregnant, before I had baby as well, I used to do all this community stuff, like probably 40 hours a week volunteering, and like public speaking and whatnot, and then 40 hours plus a week working, and then I sort of just slowed down, and probably, people wouldn't notice if they didn't know me because I'm a 200% person, so my 50% looks like 100% maybe. And now I'm feeling like, I've slowly been going less and less, like 80% or so. And maybe it's become more noticeable. I did have like a bit of like trouble concentrating too. And I was just like, oh, do I have ADHD? A lot of people have ADHD these days, or there's more awareness of it. And I started to think some of my things of like not being able to focus might be that. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Just waiting for them to let me know when the PET scan will be. Got to book in for the blood tests. My family is going to take my daughter out today for a bit of a, go and do an activity. So I can just focus on getting my blood tests and then just having a bit of a rest. I'm just trying to take it easy as much as I can. Not put too much pressure on myself because I am feeling guilty for not being productive, and I sort of always feel that way. So that's all from me for now. I just wanted to give a little update. I do really want to document this time because I feel like there's a higher purpose behind what I'm going through. And I feel like if I can help someone, maybe someone else has a cough or a sore throat or this niggly feeling, and like maybe, someone else could get diagnosed or have awareness of what's going on, be able to recognize the symptoms, and maybe someone else as well could see that this can be, definitely a challenging time. And there's all different stages and levels of cancer. There's so many different ones. You need to take it seriously. I feel lucky with the type that I've got, and people who get cancer or, who experience cancer out there might not be that lucky. So I'm really sorry if someone has to go through this, but I think, you know, if you can just see what you're grateful for, take each step, take each test one day at a time, or just do the next test. Just, okay, I've got my doctor's appointment on Monday, I've got my, you know, blood test on Tuesday, you know, whatever you've got, just do the next one. Don't think too far ahead. That's something I definitely need to work on, because there's been a couple things going on with work, and like, I'm a contractor, so if I don't work, I don't get paid. I get paid by the hour. That's been stressful for me. I've always worked very hard, but you know, there's times in life you need to just take a break, and you do need to, slow down. And when I called work and let them know, they also let me know that like funding's running out earlier than expected for the contract I'm on. So then I was like starting to look for a job, which is probably all a bit too much at this stage, but I just want to be proactive. So that's everything from me for now. Definitely not what I expected for 2025. I'm listening to a lot of Delta, her album Mistaken Identity. She wrote it after she had Hodgkin Lymphoma when she was 18. She recovered. So she's someone that definitely inspires me. I have ideas for my future. I'm just thinking of, you know, all the things that I'll do, because there have been, I gotta go.